One day, while exploring the ruins to the north of Vegas, we see an interesting sight, a whole bunch of pre-war signs piled up to act as a barricade. Man, how many neon signs did Zapp's Neon Signs produce before the war? You could make a mountain of them here in Vegas. Rounding the corner from this interesting site, if we follow the road all the way to the end, we find a tiny, easy-to-miss junk door with a pedestrian sign on it, which leads to a slum called North Vegas Square. Inside, we find a familiar sight. Ruins upon ruins, identical to those of all of Vegas's slums. These are residents of North Vegas. They all live here. And standing over by another ruined building is a man smoking a cigarette named Crandon.
Can I help you with something, stranger?
Tell me about North Vegas.
We've been here for a few years, just looking for a place we can call our own. Life's harsh, but still, it beats the hell out of the desert. We've got numbers, we've got food, and we've got trade. That's progress, stranger.
What is there to do here?
Keep your nose to the ground, stranger, that's what. Mind your own business and let us mind our own. Are we clear? If you got a mind to loot the old H&H Tools factory, don't even bother. That place is sealed tighter than a rad scorpion's bunghole. Every salvager who tries gets blown up, flattened, or gutted by traps. Then he starts to stink up the town. And we're the ones to clean up the mess.
So who are you?
Name's Crandon Stranger. I keep an eye out for trouble around here.
What kind of trouble?
Folks that don't belong. Murderers, rapists, extortionists, and everything in between. You know, business as usual in North Vegas, stranger.
Does the NCR keep order around here?
NCR? Did you just crawl out from under a rock? Those folks only care about their business, their people, and their pockets. NCR's order? Don't make me laugh, stranger. We work this land, we own these streets, and we yank up the bad weeds ourselves. Got it?
Well, tell me more about your role here.
Jules, myself, and a few others patrol the streets and sewers. Any punks come up out of the rest of the city, we give them the runoff.
Do you need a hand with any trouble?
You want to help us out? What makes you think we want you around here, huh?
We can pass a barter check of 35 to say, I've got the skills, the will, and the firepower. All I expect is a decent reward for my work.
Spoken like a true mercenary. Well, you seem like you can handle yourself, stranger, and we can use people like that. We may not squander our wealth like those fools in the Strip, but we take care of our own business. Consider this a token of good faith.
Or we can pass a 45 speech check to say, I respect your independence, and I'm good at taking care of trouble.
That's the kind of stuff I like to hear, stranger. All right, we could use someone like you.
What would you like me to do?
Some squatters decided to take space where they don't belong over by the playground. We'd prefer to keep them off the streets and out of sight. Maybe you could go and talk to them. Convince them to see things our way.
I'm on it.
I like your speed, stranger. Let me know when that's done.
With that, we begin the quest, someone to watch over me. Looks like we need to find a playground, but North Vegas Square is small, and we see the playground right over there to the south. We see a number of actors walking around. There's a cowboy crouched over by this ruin, and the street continues to the west. Before we confront the squatters at the playground, let's finish exploring. We pass over a manhole on the ground. I wonder where that leads. And we see more ruins to the northwest, but the road to the west is completely blocked, with one tiny junk door leading out. North Vegas Square is a really small area. There is a building we can enter to the south. We find a large double door to a building called The Gray, whatever that is. That's it for this section, but as we head over to the playground, we see the cowboy we saw sitting down earlier walk our way. His name is Jules.
I see a lot of folks come and go, but none fit your type. Where you come from, stranger?
Relax, I only want to ask you some questions.
And I only asked first. I'll try one more time before I find out the hard way. Where you come from and where you going.
As with nearly any conversation in this game, we can always attack. I guess you'll have to find out the hard way.
You ain't too smart, are you? Okay, let's dance.
But if we do, we turn all of North Vegas Square hostile. To defend ourselves, we kill everyone and we fail our quest. So instead we can say, I'm just another wasteland wanderer. Why the suspicion?
'Cause that's the law of the land. You never know when someone's going to stab you in the back, and I like mine upright. Maybe one day, stranger, when you've seen all I've seen, done all I've done, you'll sooner trust a rad scorpion than a new face in the wasteland.
We can then pass a guns check of 50 to say, I can see you take care of yourself, partner. Your revolver's trigger shines like silver.
You got a sharp eye on you. I take it you like guns, huh? Question is, can you handle more than just a weapon?
What do you mean by more than just a weapon?
I mean, you've got to know yourself before you can truly know the gun. So let's see it, stranger. Do you know yourself?
We then have to pass a survival check of 60 to say, I am one with the land.
We see eye to eye, we speak warrior to warrior. And I thought myself too old to find an equal. Listen, warrior, there are two kinds of folks. You load your gun like an ordinary man, or you load it like a devil. We ain't ordinary, are we? See, I pack good brass up with slow-burning powder, then cap it with a heavy semi-wad cutter bullet. That's how you make 44 ammo that'll put the fear of the heavens on any waster that dare cross your path.
With that, he gives us the schematics to create 44 Magnum hand-loaded ammunition. Now, we're already able to craft this ammunition if we have the hand loader perk. But the cool thing about this conversation is that with the schematics, we can craft this unique type of ammunition without having to get the perk, which is perfect for a pistol guns build like my character. The hand-loaded 44 Magnum rounds appear in our inventory as 44 Magnum SWC. I'm assuming that stands for semi-wad cutter. They're slightly more expensive to craft at a reloading bench, but not by much. They cost only 2 more lead and 2 more pistol powder per round. However, it does require 75 in repair, which is much higher than the 50 required to craft regular 44 Magnum ammunition. The 44 semi-wad cutter is designed to be a superior compromise between hollow point ammunition and armor-piercing ammunition than the standard 44 Magnum round. The bullets are completely flat-nosed. This unique shape of the bullet causes it to expand slightly on impact, which can severely damage a soft target, though not quite as much as hollow point bullets. This same hole punch design of the bullet works really well on armored targets as well. When used in combat, they do break that little red shield near to an enemy's name. So in short, while not as powerful against soft targets as hollow point, nor as effective against armored targets as the 44 Special, they are much better against both enemies than the standard 44 Magnum round. This ammunition is only used by 3 weapons in the game. The 44 Magnum revolver, including the mysterious Magnum, which is what I'm using here, the trail carbine, and Fido, an automatic weapon from Old World Blues. Well, thank you, Jules. Can you tell me about North Vegas?
We're independent folks here. Merchants, gamblers, NCR whores. All of them trade with us, and we offer protection against critters and the fiends.
NCR whores?
You heard me. We don't like those stiff-backed, clean-handed little pussies. New Vegas belongs to the people. The NCR is just a corrupt and bloated monster no better than any other wasteland crawler. We make this land wealthy, and we ain't giving it up.
What's the deal with the fiends?
They're a bunch of lunatics so pumped full of chems they don't give a damn about life anymore. Fiends rape, kill, and maim for the hell of it. Vault 3's fiend territory. Those shitheads attack West Side all the time, even making it to the rest of Outer Vegas when they crawl under the sewers.
Hey, you know what? I took care of the fiends. I killed Motor Runner, their boss, inside Vault 3.
You cleaned that vermin's nest? Gotta say, we don't see that kind of attitude around here. Good work.
Since I've cleaned them out, have you had any more trouble with the fiends?
Bad weeds don't die easy. Still, things will be safer now that you've taught a lesson to those crazies.
Well, what's your story, partner?
That's a long one, stranger. Let's just say I got tired of killing in the wasteland, and now I found a better home for my old butt.
What do you do here?
Outer Vegas ain't exactly a safe place. Despite our numbers, the wasteland creeps through every nook and cranny. I make sure any dangers to the people of North Vegas stay outside our barrier, stranger. Day and night, I stand watch.
Hey, you want to play a hand at Caravan?
You betcha. Caravan's got me through many a long night before. I hope you're ready.
Jules here is one of the many characters in the game with whom we can play Caravan. Someday I'll figure this doggone game out, and when I do, I'll make a video about it. But that day is not today. After our chat with Jules, we can round the corner to head to the playground. Here we see a few North Vegas residents, but also NCR squatters. These squatters are NCR citizens who followed the trail of the NCR from California to New Vegas, some seeking fortune, but many others consuming the resources of the New Vegas natives. The leader of this pack of squatters is Squatter Bill.
What do you want?
Crandon says you're not allowed to stay here. You'll have to go somewhere else.
Oh, really? And how you gonna make us?
We could attack and say, easy, I'm just gonna kill you.
Fuck you, asshole. You're gonna regret it.
Watch out!
The other squatters here turn hostile, but the other North Vegas Square residents don't. However, we gain NCR infamy, and that's because these are NCR citizens. If we don't want to completely ruin our reputation with the NCR, we have a few alternatives. We can pass a speech check to say, I'm asking nicely, and I only do that once.
Hey, don't worry. I was just kidding. We're going, right, boys?
Or we can achieve the same result by passing a 45 barter check to say, I'd rather not have any trouble. Here's 50 caps. Just keep yourself off the streets.
Sure, you got a deal.
Either way, the squatters slowly leave the playground
We're going.
and eventually walk out the northwestern gate to leave the game forever. No matter which way we chose to get rid of them, once done, we can check in with Crandon.
Have you taken care of those squatters?
I've dealt with those newcomers.
That's good to hear. Can't ever be too careful with strangers around here.
Got any more work for me?
Good work with those newcomers. I think you can handle more serious business with more serious rewards. There's a handful of greasers down in the sewers causing trouble. They ain't packing too much iron, but I'd like them dealt with all the same.
I'll deal with them.
Glad to hear it. Let me know when they're gone.
At last, we get to enter and explore the sewers. We find the manhole entrance to the north sewers just down the road. At the bottom of the ladder, we open a door. This leads us to a long hallway that splits. We can go south or north-northwest. We'll go south for now. The southern passage leads to another door, which brings us to a hallway. We see a room off to the south with people walking around, a door to the east, and a path that rounds a corner to the west. Oh dear, it sounds like we're going to be exploring a labyrinth. We'll start by crossing this path and entering the room to the south, and sure enough, we find a whole bunch of people here. None of these people are hostile. These are all New Vegas citizens, so it looks like instead of finding ghouls down here, the people of North Vegas have decided to turn the sewers into their homes, which is a practical decision. Now, this room appears to be a central hub of the sewers. There are many doors in and out. First, there's a door to the south, the only southern door in this room. Then a door to the west, the only western door in this room. And another door to the north. This is the second of two doors on the northern side of this room. The door to the north leads us back out to that hallway that we crossed to enter this room. We'll start by going east up this hallway. We see that it's flooded, and it ends with 3 doors. A door to the north, east, and south. We'll start by going to the east. This immediately splits off to the right, but continues to the east, ending at a door. Opening the door leads to another sewer with a split. We see that it turns north or continues to the east. We'll go north first. We see North Vegas citizens wandering around and radioactive ooze dripping from the ceiling. There are a few beds here, but nothing to loot. Though we do find a ladder that leads up to North Vegas. And this puts us right outside in front of that neon sign barricade that we passed at the very beginning of this video on our way to North Vegas Square. So we are connecting all of the dots. Back into the North Vegas sewer, we can retrace our steps south, and this time turn east. The path winds around to the north, ending at yet another split. It goes off to the east, or continues north. Continuing north, we follow the sewer until it ends at another ladder. This is the ladder to the Freeside gate. So using these sewers, we can navigate to many points in the Vegas area. Well, now that we know where this leads, we can head back inside, and this time turn east down the hallway. This continues with a pipelined path to the east, and it splits to the south. We'll go south for now, and this leads us to a large flooded room with a huge pipe inside. And here we find the greasers. The leader of this petty gang is a man named Greasy Johnny.
What the hell are you looking at, punk?
I hear you've been causing trouble.
Oh, yeah? Fuck off, asshole.
We can attack and say, I was hoping you'd be that stupid.
What? Hey guys, help me here.
Or we can pass a terrifying presence check to attack and say, I'm going to enjoy seeing you bleed.
Shit, you're crazy.
Over here!
Let's start this dance.
Which leads to the same end. Or we can sidestep violence for now and try and reason with this guy. There's no need for violence. What'll it take for you to stop?
You better make it worthwhile. I ain't gonna risk my neck in the wasteland for shit.
We always have the opportunity to attack, but at this point we have two other options. We can say, how about if I pay you 100 caps to get out of here?
That'll do, yeah.
Or we can pass a 50 barter check to say, you can't really enjoy living here, take 50 caps and get out of here.
Hey, more than I could make in a week shaking down these assholes anyways. All right, fellas, let's get out of this shithole.
Or instead of giving him our hard-earned money, we can pass a 65 speech check to say, the locals are getting edgy. How long, do you think, before you're gutted open by an angry mob?
Wait, you've got a point. All right, fellas, let's get out of this shithole.
All of these options lead to the greasers vacating the sewers. But they take their good sweet time.
Don't rush me. We're going, okay?
Now that the greasers are gone, we can check in with Crandon. But before we do, I want to finish exploring these sewers, and we can start by traveling down this pipe to the west. This brings us to a platform overlooking another pipe. At the top, we see a door to the west and a door to the north. We can take some stairs to this flooded bottom section, which ends at another pipe. A pipe grate to the central sewers. This is a completely different sewer system, but we sadly don't have time to explore this today. We've got to get back to Crandon. So heading back to the north sewers, we can go back up the steps, and we'll go through the western door for now. Following it to the west, we see a door to the right, which leads us back into that big room with all of the North Vegas citizens. This was the doorway to the south that we saw in that room. So at last we know where this leads. Turning around, we can go back into the hallway and continue west, but we see a path off to the south, and it continues off to the west. Going south for now, we find another sewer grate to the central sewers. We'll have to come back to explore the other sewers here at another time. Heading back into the northern sewers, we can take this sewer's final path off to the west. This leads to a circular room with a bunch of North Vegas citizens wandering around. It goes off to the northeast, and we find a path to the west. While going northeast for now, if we take the first door to the right, we again arrive back in that large room. This was the western door in that room. So heading back out to the hallway, we can continue north. We find a door to the west, which leads us to another hallway. This hallway twists and turns until it ends at another ladder. This ladder leads us up to West Side. We arrive on the other side of a sewer manhole cover, just outside Miguel's pawn shop. We see the Casa Madrid apartments off to the west, and looky there, there's Judah Krieger playing chess. Well, now that we know where that goes, we can head back into the sewer, and we've almost explored the whole thing. Retracing our steps back to that circular room, we can this time head west. This leads to two doors, one to the south and one to the west. We'll go south for now, but this just brings us to a hallway that's blocked in with rubble. So heading back out and going north, we find a door to the Thorn. The Thorn is where Vegas residents bet on cage fights with the woman who runs the arena, Red Lucy. I covered the Thorn in one of my earliest New Vegas videos that you can watch here. But since we've already explored the Thorn, we can turn around and go back east into the sewer. To finish exploring the sewer, we can follow the path east, then north, until it rounds a corner to the east again. We see that it continues to the east, but it also splits off to the north where we find a door. We're almost back where we started. Turning north, we can go through this doorway, and then when we find a junction, we can turn north. This leads to a door that opens up into a big empty room, nothing here. So turning around, and following the path south, we turn east to find the ladder that we arrived at. With that, we've fully explored the North Vegas sewers. There are many other sewers here to explore, but we'll save those for another video, another day. Heading up the ladder, we arrive in North Vegas Square, and now that the greasers are gone, we can check in with Crandon.
Have you run off those greasers?
I've taken care of those troublemakers.
Great work. I gotta make sure this place doesn't eat itself from the inside.
Anything else you'd like me to do?
You know, this time I may actually need a gun with a brain. Talk to Mrs. Hostetler. She's near the Crimson Caravan. I think her daughter's making bad friends, the kind that'll slit your throat in the dark.
Okay, I'll go see her.
I like your enthusiasm, stranger. Let me know when that's done.
Hostetler, that name sounds familiar. Where have we heard the name Hostetler before? Well, we'll have to figure that out tomorrow. Sadly, we're out of time today, but we'll pick up right here where we leave off and solve the problem with Mrs. Hostetler's daughter in tomorrow's episode. I publish new videos each and every week here on my channel, so if you want to make sure you don't miss my next episode, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. I have a shirt shop with designs that you can't find anywhere else. My designs come in a variety of men's, women's, and children's sizes, and in a wide array of colors. You can find my designs on other products as well, smartphone cases, mugs, pillows, posters, prints, etc. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. But more importantly, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with a brand new video.